Welcome, welcome. We are going to play. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Bougie Teacher. Pink Petals Vintage. Hi, Missy Sue. I was all busy watching that show and forgot my show was supposed to start. Good Lord. Hi, Judy. Here we are. How is everyone today? I too new of a seller to join the craft raid train. Probably Missy Sue because it's an hour long 10-second sudden death. And you have to be able to have like 400 items minimum that you're willing to do $3 starts on and be able to do 10 seconds. The next artisan train is going to be April 13th, and I started sending out invites today. Do you want one? Yeah, we're going to continue doing it. Dana and I talked about it, and I mean, I wholly think it's unfair that Corey's in it, but that's a whole nother situation. Um, but we're gonna deal with it. I think he's probably gonna win. Um, I'm taking care of this right now because I'll forget. Give me 1 second, y'all. So it says that we are on YouTube Live, which is amazing. So that means that whatever we end up doing today will be on YouTube. So if you're watching this from YouTube, thanks for joining. Um, awesome. Thanks, babes. um, Dana Fancy Feathers and I are doing a crafty D-stash train, and it is going to be April 15th. Excuse me. And it is going to be a full day of 10-second or less sudden death auctions at $3 starts, and they're going to be hour-long shows. It is a competition. Whoever has the most sales, items sold, and whoever has the highest dollar sales are going to get a prize. So it's going to have each show will have gift card giveaways throughout the show, a minimum of $10. And yeah, I know Corey's selling craft stuff. He's probably just gonna win. Did you see all those Swarovski crystals he has? Oh, Rebecca, that would be so cool. We'll have to talk about that. I know you've been trying to figure out a way to get rid of all that stuff. That would be a bomb way to do it. Just saying. Hi, everybody. Hi, Karen. How are you today? I know I missed a bunch of people popping in here. Um, that's a whole nother situation. Hi, Judy. Unfiltered Han, Kicks and Drips, Nisi, Suni, Karen, my beloved Karen, Carrie, Eric. You let somebody rate it and you still have some. I can only imagine. Nurse Jessie, hello. Waiting on your babies to get here. Okay, so what we're going to do today is I had a couple of in person shows in this last month, and I sold a ton of inventory. I have a couple of in person shows coming up, so I have decided that every Thursday I'm going to come on here. I am going to make inventory for said shows, and maybe teach you a little bit along the way. So, that is our game plan for the next 2 months of Thursdays. I'm gonna do my best to, teach you some things, get through it. If there's anything in particular that you are looking to learn, Millefioric, welcome. If there's a specific, technique that you're not comfortable with, you would like to see a different way to do it, please feel free to let me know. I would be more than happy to do my best to teach you my way. Just because it's my way doesn't mean it's the only way, but sometimes what happens is we get into a situation where we watch somebody do something, we watch them make it, and we just can't figure it out. And that is because there are many different ways to manage to create the same thing. And the way I create something may not necessarily work for you, whereas the way somebody else does it will resonate. So I like to show different ways to create things. Everybody has their style, everybody has what they're comfortable with. So please understand that when I show you how I make something, it's not the only way. There are many different ways to create jewelry, and this is just my way. I've been doing it for a bazillion years, and this is the way I'm comfortable. But I just want you to understand that just because I may do something one way doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be done that way. With beading, I always say, um, it's not about how you get there, it's your end result. Whereas with art, it's how you get there. So they're pretty much polar opposites when it comes to creating. And I teach both. So sometimes I get caught up in the details and all the things, but I don't know what I'm doing, honestly, ma'am. I'm literally just kind of grabbing stuff right now. Um, Copper. Let's do gold. I don't do gold very often. I realized when we did the show, I sold quite a bit of gold jewelry and realized that I really didn't have a large inventory of gold. So I think what we're going to do here is maybe make a couple of bracelets with some gold. I had told someone last night in my bead show if they popped in, I would show them how to make dangles. So that may be something that we do. And just get some stuff made is basically what the goal is today. How is everyone doing today? I love these little knotty beads. I don't know why. It's a whole thing, right? The little knotties I like. Okay. So in the train Monday, we did a bracelet like this, but we used selenite and sterling. And I liked it so much, I made myself a bracelet. So that was a situation. I think we're going to do, and I'm just laying this out. I remember V as the center in the camera view. Ay, ay, ay. I kept forgetting that last night. I've got all this space over here that you guys can't see. So I'm like trying to work over here. We need V is the center. Remind me of that. It's a whole thing, you guys. I think we'll do between threes. That sounds like a game plan. I do like my threes, right? Um, another green in there. And we'll just string this on and see how long it is. This is literally how I design stuff. Just set it all out. And one of the things that I was showing last night are these stainless steel rods that I use, because what it does is I can string it on here. I can see exactly how long it is and figure out if I need to add or take away before I commit to putting it on my beading wire or my tiger tail. And usually when I'm doing a demo, I have these pre-strung, but I got distracted in that show and forgot what time it was. You guys had a time change recently, so I'm still trying to adjust all my shows to accommodate your time change. So I'm working on that. I'm slowly moving things backwards and getting the times straightened out. I wish y'all would just stop doing time changes. It would make life so much easier. It was a disaster trying to get the raid train figured out because the time change was Sunday and my raid train was Monday. So I was manually changing things for those of us in Arizona. So not everybody would be confused about what was going on. I'm getting my ruler out here. Okay. So we are currently at, that's pretty good, 6 inches. So when you're creating, remember when you put a clasp on a bracelet, the whole US is behind Arizona, Rebecca. I know. It's like, guys, come on. Please stop this nonsense. Anyway, I'm going to figure that my clasp is approximately an inch. Okay. That's an approximate, give or take. That's where that's at. So we're going to grab, what are we going to grab over here? Some tiger tail. And for the purposes of what we're doing today, I am going to grab 10 or 11 inches. I just want to give myself an extra room to play. And then we're going to go back to my handy dandy little findings thing that I showed you all last night. And I keep them in these containers. I have cases for them. And I just keep all the things in there that I need to make a bracelet or make a necklace and keep them handy. They lock, which is really nice. So I can throw them in my bead bag when I'm going to in-person shows and not have to worry about things falling. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for joining. We're just making some jewelry. A lot of times, if these are hooked together and you drop them, they will pop apart. Sometimes they're stubborn and I throw them back in and get a different one. That's how that works. So, let's put this aside. When you are crimping, whatever it is you're doing, you want to slide either your crimp tube or your crimp bead on first. Then we're going to put on a wire guard. You can use a wire guard. You can use French wire, but you need to do something to protect this wire because this is going to be rubbing. And with time, Tigertail is designed, it is stainless steel wires that are twisted together, and then they have a nylon coating. And over time, that nylon coating will wear away if you don't have something protecting it. So that is the point of this. I'm going to slide both of these wires inside of that crimp tube. I'm going to separate them. Hello, Maple. How are you, beautiful? I want to make sure that this is pulled down. This is kind of acting weird, like it doesn't. Oh, lifing. Yes. Yes, we are lifing. I want to slide that up. Now, I'm going to put a crimp cover on this, so I need to make sure that I have a little bit of room here so I can put that crimp bead over that. I'm going to take my crimping pliers, and you'll notice closest to the handle, it has this little part that is going to create a U shape. That's the part that I'm going to use first. Then I'm going to go up and I'm going to use this rounded to smash it down. This is for a 3mm, 2mm, and 1mm. So because I'm using a 2mm, I'm going to use the center circle. It is the $1,000,000 question, Rebecca. I don't know. I get them at the wholesale store that I go to here. They do not have a brand on them. I do not know where they come from. All I know is, yes, all I know is that I need to get my butt out there and get more. I'm almost sold out of them. Xuron makes a pair that has this same thing and they're green handled. I have the Xuron ones and I hate them because they're like weeble wobbly and they don't feel sturdy in my hand. I'm supposed to be going to the bead store, excuse me, in the next couple of weeks. I need to pick more up. Yeah, I hate the green ones. I don't even know. So anyway, I've crimped this down. I've smashed it flat and I'm going to put my crimp cover on. They have no brand on them. Like I did tape because I wore the rubber out because I use them so much because I also use them for, Rebecca, thank you, love. You didn't need to do that. I would have sent them to you, babe. Because the fine tip on them, I use these a lot with my wire wrapping because they're sturdy, but yet they have that tiny tip. So I can use them as my second pair of pliers when I'm making whatever. Love you. Thank you. I can use them as my second pair of pliers when I'm making jewelry. So it just eliminates a tool on my desk. We all know that I'm a tool hoe. I have everything imaginable. And these take they take the place of two tools. So I don't have to have a second pair of pliers. I use these as pliers and crimpers. And the other cool part about them is that they have all three of the sizes to crimp down. And what I will do is when I'm doing crimps, I can put this in that 3mm hole and it doesn't smash my crimp cover down, but it helps close it. I also use it for, um, tucking pokey bits when I'm doing wire wrap loops. So it really has they're awesome. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. All right. So, one of the fun things about putting this on this steel rod is that I can just slide these down and I'm not worried about finding holes. I'm not worried about dropping beads. They're all right here and I just slide it on. It makes making jewelry go much faster once I've figured out that design. Use it for second pair too. You've been very happy with your 3 new tools. I am so glad you got those, Renee. It's just when people tell me they're struggling with crimps, they're struggling with crimp covers, 9 times out of 10, it's not your fault. It's your tools that's causing the issue. See how quick that was? Love it so much. So I'm going to make sure and tuck this extra bit of wire in here. You can cut the wire or you can leave it. Now you need new crimps. I do have crimps, babe. I like to leave mine, and here's my take on that. I leave mine because, oh Lord, Rebecca, yeah, you're going to fall in love with these, especially for the tiny stuff that you work with, these tiny tips. Look how closed those are. Like, it looks like one piece of metal. They don't mess around with these. And you can get into some pretty tiny stuff with this. Yeah, they're bomb. You're gonna love them. I will ship them out to you in the morning. Anyway, I was saying, I leave my wire because I do a lot of in-person shows, and what happens is if somebody needs me to resize a bracelet, I can pull that crimp, I can take it off, and I can adjust beads however I need to adjust them, and I have not wasted this wire because I have a little bit extra to play with. It does not change the integrity of my bracelet by leaving those there. I just choose to do it for resizing purposes because of how I sell my jewelry. If you choose to crimp it and cut it right here, as long as you have a good crimp, it doesn't matter if you cut it here or if you leave a tail, it's going to be secure. How I do this has nothing to do with the security of it. It has to do for convenience for me at in-person shows. So there's a heated debate about whether you should leave it or not. There's also a heated debate if you leave it, the wire's going to come out and poke you. And I am going to show you in a second how to avoid that. Because, yes, if you have slack in your wire, that wire can come out and it can poke you. We don't want slack in our finished piece for the most part. Did I just grab the wrong one? Come on, Tim. Nope, I was pushing the wrong one. Okay, there we go. So what I'm doing is I'm holding, this is the one that goes all the way through. So I'm holding that and I'm pushing on the other one to just get it down through a few beads. I'm gonna stop at this white one here if I can figure out where the end went. There it is. So what I did was I pushed that through I'm going to get a hold of it. Now, if you struggle with tightening this up, you can take your pokey tool, you can take your pliers, and Amy H, how do you get the crimp bead off to resize without cutting the wire? You get in with these tiny little pliers and you squeeze it and release the crimp. Squeeze it the opposite direction of how you crimped it. So you can put this in here and you can pull if you have a hold of it. Come on, Tam. I lost my grip on it. If you're losing your grip on it, get a hold of it with your pliers. Don't fight this. And see how the counter pressure, it pulls it right up. Now, the other thing is you want to make sure that it's not stiff like this. I pulled it too hard and this is stiff. So I'm just moving my beads around because I want them to have flow. There we go. This is where we want it. The other thing that you have to take into consideration is you need space here for that crimp cover. Now, see how I have a little bit of extra here? That's going to come into play in a minute. I'm going to take my crimp plier again. I'm going to lay this in this first part that's going to crimp that down. When I do that, for God's sake, I can't hold on to anything today. I'm going to set it in that spot, but I want to get a hold of my wire guard before I crimp that down because I want to make sure I'm not going to smash my wire guard. Can you see that? So I'm going to smash that down. I've smushed it into a U shape. I have slack here that I do not like. How in the world? Oh, because it took my slack. Well, let's see before we totally crush that if we can get that to pull down a little bit. Oh, come on. It's yucky and raining. Not your favorite babe. It is so freaking hot. It's 85 degrees here today. Am I going to have room? Yeah, I think that's going to take care of it with my crimp. We should be good. So remember when I was talking about this slack here? What I'm going to do, and I want to show you if you can see this on camera. I'm putting my flush cutter flat side up against my bracelet, and I'm just getting one piece. I'm pulling this tight. So what that does is that pushes everything at that end up tight. When I snip this, watch this. I'm going to snip this, make sure there's only one. When I go to put my crimp on, it pulls that wire inside of that bead. If you make sure and do that, you will not have a problem with your wire poking anybody. Okay. Now we're going to take our crimp cover, put it over that crimp. Having the same problem I had last night. I can't hold on to anything today. If you're struggling with this, as I apparently am today, I usually don't, lay your crimp down and then you can lay. I have 200 items in there. So what's happening, you guys, is my crimp is going inside of my bead and I'm struggling with it. So once I get it on there and situated, we will be just fine. It's just getting it on there. So I'm going to close this again. I'm kind of rocking back and forth. And if you see how my pliers positioned on there, I have it at this edge and at the opposite. I'm not just squeezing this direction. If you just squeeze this direction, you're going to get a wonky looking crimp cover. So I'm going back and forth with these little pliers and squeezing that crimp down. And once I get it almost completely closed, I take that little round part that we were talking about and I just make sure it's completely closed. But that keeps it in a round shape. And there we have it. This bracelet is a little bit tight. But I think that's because the way these are sitting. So be mindful of how you string your beads on when doing this. So it flows. I swear every time you watch me, you learn something new. Karen, what'd you learn today? Dropping the wire into that bead. Yeah. Girl, I'm telling you, in the Raid Train Monday, I felt like a walking, talking creative dictionary because people would be like losing their words. And I'm just typing the words in. Oh, the crimp cover. Yeah. Crimp covers. Oh, doing it back and forth. Yeah. It's always good to do that. Let's see what we have over here for gold clasps because I didn't think that through completely. Let's see what we have in here. Not exactly my favorite. Alas, we will do it for the sake of, I don't want to dig through 10 stacks of stuff. So let's see what we have for gold toggles in this. What do we have in here? We're just going to do a basic one. Basic gold toggle. So this bracelet right now is, excuse me, 6.5 inches. So when I put this toggle on, it is going to add, here, let me show you. It's going to add almost an inch. So this is going to be a 7.5 inch bracelet when it's all said and done. We're going to use these textured jump rings. You love that one? Yeah. Is it called autumn agate? When you open a jump ring, you want to open it, take 2 pairs of pliers and open it side to side. You never want to pull your jump rings open. Sometimes these are hard to find where the break in it is. I think it's right there. Nope. There it is. Is it autumn agate, Alice? I know there's another name for it too. Can't remember what it is though. So I'm going to grab my jump ring. I'm going to grab one end. Actually, I'm going to grab the other end because we're going to do something different here. And then I'm going to just reverse that and side to side close it. And when you go to close, you want to kind of just rock it until you feel it lock into place. So you have a smooth close. On the other end, we're going to make a little dangle. Hello, everybody. Welcome. If you're watching this from YouTube, thank you for hanging with us today. We are making I need a darker green one, but I need a green one with some golds. That one right there. That ties everything together. We're going to make a dangle. So I have a head pin. I'm going to slide my bead on. I'm going to slide one of these little knot thingies, and I'm going to make a wrapped loop because I don't like that. Where did my gold go? I need a smaller hole because I don't want that wrapped loop to pop up through. So a lot of times you will see me use these little 4mm daisy spacers, which basically just made that hole a little bit smaller. So when you're doing a wrapped loop, you want to grab your pliers. You're going to hold it up against this. I'm holding my bead and I'm pushing it over at a 90-degree angle. Okay. When you have that over at a 90-degree angle, you want to take your round nose pliers and place them on the top and the bottom of the part that's sticking out. Where you wrap on these pliers determines how small your loop is going to be. I want mine to be fairly small because I'm using this as a dangle. So I'm going to hold my bead and I'm going to use my finger to push this up and over and all the way around. See where we're at there? Then I'm going to release my plier, keeping it in that loop, and I'm going to take it over here. I'm just repositioning it on my loop, and I'm going to keep going with that wire until I have a complete circle. See how that is? So we have this complete circle. If it is not a complete circle right here, what you can do is take another pair of pliers, and again, that counter pressure is always important. Just jiggle it a little bit, reposition it on top of that neck, and then you have this. Now, normally what you want to do right here is take a second pair of pliers, hold this loop to maintain that integrity, grab a second pair of pliers and wrap your wire. Okay. You can do this with the round nose in here, but you have the chance of it going kind of wonky. Totally your choice. Get a good grip on this. And your first wrap right here, I've got good counter pressure going. Your first wrap is the most important because that is going to secure your loop. You literally can stop right there if you want to. I prefer to do 3 wraps on all my stuff. I don't know why. It's just a thing I've always done. Go slow, and you want to make sure that these wires are up against each other. Mermaid Market, not sure how I got here. I don't make or buy jewelry on Whatnot, but I'm so invested in watching you do this. LOL, it's so cool. Well, thank you very much, Mermaid Market. Thanks for joining me. Sometimes some things are just meant to be. Are you a seller on here? Right, Rebecca? I like the 3 loops better. So if there's a gap here, well, that's why you ended up here, babe. I do a lot in the handmade community. Um, thank you. I do a lot with the handmade community. I also do tutorials not only here in the bead room, but in the art room. I run raid trains and I love supporting new sellers. So, I mean, sometimes things just alignment. Welcome to Whatnot. Welcome to the Whatnot community. Okay, so if these are not lined up, here's a little tip. Here's another tip. Pay attention to this. Before you just keep crazy wrapping, if these aren't lined up, you know how you go to smash these down and they your pliers slip, you scrape your wire and it looks like crap and all the things. When you're here, if you place your plier underneath your wraps and on top of your pliers, it gives you a good leverage to just scooch them up. The Bob Ross. Thank you for that. I love Bob Ross. So we're going to continue going around. My pliers just keep popping out because I'm abusing them this week until I get that third wrap. Once I get that third wrap, I'm going to do something. I'm going to keep going because I just bent that wire around and then I'm going to pull it back. So what that does right there, when I go using my flat part of when I go to cut this, I've already trained that wire that it's going around there, whether it likes it or not. And this is where these pliers come in. I stick it inside of one of these little holes where you do your crimps, and it just very smoothly, if you're holding on to it like you're supposed to. Lord have mercy, guys. Give me a second. Hold on to that loop, and if you use that rounded part, it just nicely tucks your pokey bits. Isn't that cool? Okay, back to our bracelet. Let me put my pliers back together. I beat them up. I've beat these up so badly, guys. I'm going to show you because I know a lot of you have bought these. So my rubber thing, I cut it and split it. And if this pops out, all you have to do, this is so much easier when I'm not showing you on a camera, is pop that back in the hole and then push your rubber up to hold it. And I've got my resistance back. Resistance is important for my arthritic hands. All right, so we were doing this. Jump ring. The other end of our bracelet. Our dangle. And the other end of our clasp. Ta-da! Close this side to side. Making sure it meets up well, which it does not. So when this happens, when it's not meeting up well like this, I will literally go back, open it up, and reposition because I want that to be good and closed. There we go. Okay. So there's our first bracelet. That took forever. Bam. Another one done. Okay. Any requests for where we go next? Actually, we're gonna do this. We're gonna make some matching earrings. Thank you, Alice. Great minds and all. The besties in my head today. Okay, sorry. Bottom. We need some. You can't see what I'm doing over here, so I'm digging through these beads over here. Okay. I think for matching purposes, I'm not 100% sure what these beads are. Some of them look like they've got the sparkle of a sunstone, but I think what they are is a peach aventurine. This bead's bugging me. It has like a dimple in it. We can't use that. That's gotta go. That one should be good. But do I have one that matches that? That looks funny. I want to get some green in there so it kind of matches, you know what I mean? So if we do those, that shouldn't be too bad. But I need some of this orangey orange. Orange up there. Bam. Okay, that's gonna work. I can live with that. I know. I don't have a lot of the. That's why this dimple one is just messing my whole world up. These are my green choices that I have left. Those are my green choices. And there's really no two that are the same color. Is Rob here? Rob, are you watching? Rob always sends me hearts while he's driving. The light color in the center. Those. That's better. Thank you. Not perfect, but better. What's this? Oh, I keep it's like the dimple. I keep grabbing it. Y'all. Darker on the bottom. These two. No, go for the greens. Yeah, I don't. Green, I know. All right, screw this. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna just get out of these strands. I only have a 5,000,000,001 aventurine beads in my world over here. Boop de doop, out the door. There we go. That's much better. I know they're driving me insane. I would have hated them. This is where I would have pulled this apart. That's better. Okay. Now we're all good. Thank you. All right. So we're going to start out with 2 head pins. We are going to grab a couple of eye pins. I might get cray into too. We'll see. You like these centers? Yeah, I do too. As always, with all things, I'm going to grab some 4mm daisies because, I mean, what are you even doing with your life if you don't use daisies in your stuff? It's like a automatic decorative head pin. I feel like they should be standard, but that's just me. See, I just made a decorative head pin. Isn't that just, and it's a lot cheaper. Okay, off we go. Off we go. Make an earring for real, right? Tam's over here just talking smack. So we're going to do those. More head pins. Eye pins. These are eye pins. They have loops. You can make me decorative. Rebecca, I know you can. Lilac, hi beautiful, how are you doing? Rebecca, we need to talk about that too. Yeah, we have a list of conversations we need to have. Um, we made an aventurine bracelet and we are now designing matching earrings. What are you up to today, my friend? I'm so sad that you can't be in our raid train. That would have been epic. Although you probably would have won because you're so good at it. So I don't know about that. Maybe get me one under my belt. It's a whole competition. Lilac, you need to go back to work. Okay. Well, thanks for stopping by and saying hi. I miss hanging out with you, love. Yeah. I need to get some head pins from you, Rebecca. Like, most definitely. Okay. Don't fall asleep. They're saying I'm putting people to sleep. You don't want to fall asleep at work, love. Everybody accuses me of putting them to sleep. Okay, so with this, we're going to use another fun tool that I use a lot. And I'm going to say this. The eye pins and head pins that I grabbed are the thickness of, I know, just keep running. That's what I'm going to do. The thickness of these are like a stainless steel. They are not easily bent. So I feel confident making earrings with these with just basic loops. This one step looper, a lot of people, it's a love-hate relationship for people, okay? I get that. Yeah, we're gonna throw another daisy on top of there just because we can. Um, a lot of the people do not like it because they don't know how to use it properly. So this comes, there's a hole at this end here. And what happens when you close it, excuse me, as you close it, right, let me get a pokey tool. so we can demo. Right here, as this goes, this cuts your wire, and then it keeps pushing it around, and it creates the loop on the end of your wire. Okay? So this is the mechanism of this. So when people are using this and they snap and squeeze, it breaks and it doesn't give the wire the chance to get centered back on here after it's snapped. So when you go really fast, it misses it, right? So once you've snapped that wire, if you just go slow, there's no place else for it to go. It's going to push it and create that loop. Well, it is now. Alice calling me out on my beat up stuff. It used to be silver plated, and I've used it for so long, the plating is gone and it's just copper underneath. So, all of that said, we're going to show. So, you lay your wire in and you make sure that it's coming out of this hole. If it's not coming out of this hole, it's a whole different situation, a whole different use for this tool. I'm making sure that my loop is parallel with my tool, and that ensures that my loops are going to be parallel. If I want them opposite, I just turn my piece and they will be perpendicular. Okay. So I'm going up here. This is right up against there. If this is crystal, I need to make sure I have a space so this part right here doesn't shatter my crystal. Okay. So watch what I'm going to do. It cut, and now I'm going slowly around. I'm pushing that until it meets up with that wire. I'm going to give it a little jog back, and I have a perfect loop. Rinse and repeat 5 more times. Now, if I were doing just basic loops, it would be a lot more. It is pretty cool. So you snip and then you just slowly push it around, get everything together, jog it back, and we have our loops. And we're just going to keep right on doing that with all of these. So when you're making a ton of jewelry, this tool is really awesome to work with because after a while, making basic loops, people struggle with them. They don't want to, they get frustrated with it. So sometimes let your tools do your work. That's my take on that. I didn't go slow enough and that one didn't close all the way. Oops. Where's my doohickeys? We're going to put another daisy on there just because that stone's bigger and I don't want to take the chance of hurting it. I mean, I'm going to hurt my stone. You bought the 3.01 for, hey, you know what, Alice? I just had a thought. You could use the 3.01 for your journal dingles, ma'am. Just a thought. Because you need bigger loops for your dingles. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. So here, up against here, it does. Yeah, Renee. Scour, here's the thing, everybody has a love-hate relationship with them. Scour Facebook Marketplace, eBay. People sell them all the time because they don't know how to use them and they hate them. Welcome in, everybody. Reggie, when I did that, my thought process was doing opposites, like just something different in the middle. But now that I'm looking at it, I don't like it. We're going to see how it hangs. And I may need to fix that. You got your second one from Michaels with the coupon. It was only $20. I love this tool. I do too. You're right. I don't like it. Okay. So, yes, I can fix that. I can fix that. So, I'm going to stick my round nose in that hole. See, this is where it's going to sit. I'm going to open. I know I said never do this, and I'm just doing it. It's Reggie's fault. Reggie told me to, you guys. I'm going to slide this up and around. I'm going to grab that loop. Reggie made me do it. And I'm going to close that up. Come on, go. Go, my friend. Go where I want you to. I'm asking nicely. We're on video. Bada bing. Was it me? Yeah, the 2.25 is generally the same size that we buy in the store. I will say though, for like making earrings and stuff, I like the smaller one because if you look at this with this hanging, if I have large loops here and I make a lot of dangly earrings, let's face that. That's kind of like my thing. I make dangle earrings. The more loops I have in there, the longer my earrings get. So these smaller loops keep them from being too long, if that makes sense. Okay, fixed. It was an illusion. They look like different sizes. What the actual? That was weird. Where do I have stainless steel gold ear wires? It looks cray, but for bracelets I want them to have the same size, and you suck at wrapping currently. I keep telling you, you just got to keep practicing. I mean, guys, I can go back to some of my jewelry from, why do these look different colored? Excuse me. I can go back to my jewelry from like 30 years ago and I look at it and I'm like, oh Lord, I sold this stuff. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Rob, I love you. I just thought I'd point that out. So, funny fact, all those hearts flying right now. When Rob's driving between jobs and I'm live, he can't listen to me or watch me because, he's driving. So he'll set his phone beside him and he'll just sit there and tap hearts to me. You have jewelry that looks like absolute crap. I find it buried in my stuff all the time. Oh, ma'am, I've been cleaning out some stuff and pulling some stuff out. And it's like hilarious, some of the stuff that I have. Okay, so we're going to take this. We're going to open it side to side like we do. Remember? Side to side. We're going to hook the green one on and we're going to close it side to side. Okay. Then I love you. Thank you, because I'm like, what the heck is he doing? Thanks for clarifying that, love. Okay, it's not Rob, it's Zombie Panda because she loves me too. I love you more. I love it. That's great. I was really kind of just sitting here. What the heck? Okay, so that's all hooked up. Yeah, I mean, I have a whole thing up here. I could pull down some of the jewelry. Um, I actually have a couple of English is hard when you're concentrating. I actually have a couple of jewelry stands that Rob made me that I just kind of started throwing my old jewelry on as I found it, as I was destashing and cleaning stuff. And some of the stuff I look at and it's like, oh my God, like, did I really make that? Better yet, did I really sell it? Because, whoa, did I teach this class? What was I thinking? Yeah, thank you, babe. There we go. Same with your ear wires. I was doing a demo one day and I opened these up just like this, and somebody's like, oh my God, I never knew those opened. Yes, yes, ma'am, they do. Yes, ma'am, they do. Mermaid Market, thank you so very much. I screenshotted you and I will come follow you and check out your stuff. If you have any questions in your selling journey, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always down for helping new people. Thanks for hanging and welcome to our community. LOL, did I sell it? I always think someone bought this. Now I know they did that out of love. Right? Well, I used to do a lot of handmade markets back in the day, like a lot. Let me see if I can find something up here that is just, I look at it and I go, what, Tamara? Were you actually thinking? I'm going to grab this, okay? Because you guys are going to crack up. Oh, crap. I don't know if I can get it off. So here's one that I like legit look at. It's like right up on my shelf. I sold the shit out of these bracelets, you guys. They're woven with elastic cord. That's hideous. Hi, Greta. Island Girl Mickey, how are you, beautiful? It's honestly pretty cool. It's awful. I have a, like, I taught this class at Michael's, not even lying. And every time I taught this class, it was full, like sold out. And I sold so many of these, and stretch cord. But the thing with it is, it's like that old school stretch cord. I can't believe it's not dead yet. But anywho, yeah, I taught this class back in like the 90s. I was the event coordinator at the one here for lots of years. Here's another funny one. I wish I wouldn't have taken the price tag off because I'm curious how much I sold these for. But this is a combination of vintage check glass, amethyst, and pearls. Like for real folks. And see this? All we had back in the day was sterling silver, fluorite. This is check. This is amethyst. This is fluorite. I don't even know why. And I'm like 99% sure this is all sterling because we had sterling back in the day. Yeah. But it needs to be restrung because, it's on stretch, and if I wore it once, I would lose these everywhere. Maybe I should just restring it. See how it's already pulling because it's just so old. But these are some of the things that I used to make. Like, I know. I don't know. I don't know what my problem is, you guys. We used to have fun jewelry back in the days, teaching, doing the things. What else do I have up here that's just like horrendous? No, that's not too bad. Oh, these were very famous too. The cuff bracelets with memory wire. And it's funny because cuff bracelets are making a comeback. But these are sterling plated beads on memory wire. And then if you look really closely, we either had spacers or we wire wrapped to hold everything on. Yes. Yep. And you wear them on your forearm back in the day. Or I mean on your bicep. Yes. Yes, I made this. I actually taught this class. I've been teaching jewelry a long time, you guys. I've been through all the things through the years. All the things through the years. Okay. Arm cuffs. Yep. I used to work with seed beads a lot. Did a lot of bead weaving, loom weaving, all of those things I have done. I have taught, and now I've settled into my eyes and my arthritis do not cooperate with those tiny little beads anymore. So here we are teaching basic beading. It doesn't mean I can't do it, I just don't choose to. That's the whole deal. You may or may not have done some sweet dance moves with an arm cuff circa 90s. Alice, we wouldn't even be friends if I didn't think that you hadn't been on a pole or two in life. Just saying. Remember when all the clubs used to have poles in them? 501s, button downs. And who are you even if you can't undo your pants with one fell swoop of the buttons? Yeah. Dancing platform, Mickey, right? These kids these days, cage dancing. Yeah, they just don't know. Because when I say something like that, anybody under the age of 40 is like, oh my God, was she a stripper? No, it was in all the dance clubs. Like it was just there in the clubs. Yes. Yes, Rebecca. You missed things. But the best part about all of that, and I see it online every once in a while, and it kind of makes me giggle. They they didn't we didn't have social media. If you had a camera, it was film and you had to take it in to be developed, and there was certain stuff they just wouldn't develop. So there's no evidence of the stuff we pulled when we were young. No evidence ever. None. We got by with so much. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all, I love you, but your cell phones and all of your documenting everything on social media, like my generation, you rarely do you see my generation posting a bunch of stuff on social media because we were raised that no, what happens wherever stays wherever. You know the saying, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Our whole life was what happens in life stays in life. I know, Greta, could you imagine? All right, we're done with these beats for the day, guys. let's see. What are we going to move on to next? Because I'm just kind of having fun hanging out with you guys. Let's see what we have in our little bag of tricks over here. I really want to play with these, but not today. Let's see what we have in here. I kind of want to play with these, but I kind of want to wait until I get the other ones. I haven't done anything with these. Que Sera. And that strand has more blue in it. And what about if I put it with some blue aventurine? Hi, Maria. Yep. We used to go out to the lake. And, okay, so you want teenage stories? Here we go. Teenage stories. We would go to the lake and, hi, Nance. How are you, babe girl? We're telling stories. We're making jewelry and telling stories. So we had lake parties, and we would have like a 50-gallon trash can that somebody picked up at the hardware store. One or the other of us would raid somebody's garden. You know exactly where I'm going, Alice. Because, we all lived, a lot of us were farm kids. And so we would raid the garden, grab whatever fruit, veggies there were. We would all bring a bag of fruit and a bottle of booze, and you dump it in the trash can. That was your entrance fee to the party. Yep. Jungle juice is what we called it. Ah, yes. And we would have red Solo cups. Some of us just brought our own cups from home. Yes, ma'am. That was the way to party back in the days. You made boozy fruit to float the river. True. Yeah, they've had a lot of drownings in the river in the last couple of years. My favorite hide and seek spot was in the garden next to the cherry tomatoes. Absolutely. I can say my favorite spot to hide in my grandma's garden was in the strawberry beds. Loved me some strawberries. Blueberry bushes were always good to hide out in. The mulberry trees, because we had a whole stand of mulberry bushes. They really weren't bushes, they were trees. We would go crawl up in the tree and sit there and eat mulberries. And, we forever got in trouble because when you eat mulberries straight from the tree, your hands, your mouth, and everything in between is purple. We don't think about those things. Your neighbor has a mulberry tree. I have a mulberry tree. It has not produced me with a ton of mulberries. I usually get like a dozen every year, but they say that it takes like 5 to 10 years to get really prolific. So I'm just waiting. Like, you went with the river rats and they've been doing it for 30 plus years. We had huge groups all tied together. It made me feel safe. Yeah. Sammy, I climbed big trees or hid in between the stalks. Cornfields were always good to hide in. Yeah. And this is why we are so laid back, because we grew up like this. And this is why we were so not understanding. of people that get all up in their heads and freak out about stuff. It's like, y'all don't know what it's like to live. It just, I don't know. We had fun when we were kids. Again, we're going with the threes, my friends. Because this seems to be the way of the world today in Tam's head. You're living rent free in my head today. 333s. Bam. Que Sera stone. Alice, give us the skinny on Que Sera stone. She's like, damn, why you put me on the spot, woman? Love the colors together. Thank you. So these stones actually, I don't know if it's kind of hard to see. It actually has blue in it. Guys, I promise I'm doing my nails tomorrow. I promise. I said that last night, but here we are. So I went ahead and laid out the earrings. We're just going to do basically the same thing we just did. Do I dip? Yes, I do dip nails. Yep, I do my own. Que Sera stone, often called lanite or galaxy rhyolite, is a rare, high-vibration metamorphic rock composed of quartz, feldspar, and other minerals. Like magnite and clino, all I saw was anyway, primarily sourced from Brazil and Texas, known for its opalescent blue quartz inclusions that appear to glow. Oh, Renee, I forgot you're a nail tech. Shit. Look what happened. I can show you. Right there. I gotta get my nails done. They're awful. Que Sera? Okay. See, Alice keeps me in check. Sam, you didn't come home till streetlights or when went out to Country Plantation for good. It was dinner bell and Papa did his whistle. You're not a nail tech, you're a DIY gal. Okay. All right. I don't feel quite so bad. You know what it's like. Mommy used to sing the song to you. Okay. I don't know, but it's really pretty. I like the colors. Ba-da-ba. Silver or copper? Silver or copper, my friends. Copper. I'm feeling the copper. Okay, thank you. Just reiterate what I really wanted to do, but I thought I'd ask just for the sake of 19 strand. We'll use some 7. Yeah, we'll use 7 strand. Okay, so again, like 11 inches. You know what's going to happen is I get to play with copper wire here. Copper almost. I mean, I'm not complaining. I love copper, so here we are. It's unanimous. Copper it is. So we have our beading wire. Bada bing. What is all this? All these strings around here is just so much. We have our coppers. Let's get rid of these over here out of our way. We have some daisies because we always need the daisies. If you guys only knew how many daisy spacers I go through. Yeah. So I keep these little boxes just by my desk with some of my favorite beads, just so I can quickly do demos and throw stuff together. We don't want to talk about my copper bin. There's no twisting. So it just makes it easier for me to do demos because they're here. Are there tiny owls in? Aren't they cute? Yeah. Turn the print. Is it plugged in? Yeah, so I have these. These are just some little flowers, owls. These are some bead caps. These are bead caps, bead caps, bead caps. These balls I really like. I like these, but now I'm like down to just a few, so I'm kind of stingy with them. I have these square ones, which I think we're going to use with these because they look really rustic. Yeah, I love the Celtics. The knots I have in all colors. I love them so much. I have the different size daisies and then some different size balls. So it just kind of gives me stuff to play with if I can't. Is it plugged in? Check and see. Is it plugged in? If I can't find what I'm looking for, I do have more to choose from. Lord help us all. I have so many beads. It's ridiculous. But I'm soon going to be doing a D-Stash show, which is a raid train that is hosted by myself and Dana's Fancy Feathers. And it is going to be absolutely epic because we are doing 1 hour of 10-second sudden death and $3 starts. Yes, add to your note. Add to your note, my child. I know it's going to be so much fun. If you go into my shows, it's April 15th. Also on April 13th is our artisan creative train. My D-Stash is your gain. Yes, April 13th is the artisan creative train. And we will be doing all day of demos. So guys, here's the funny. You know, if you were here last night and I showed you my craft mates for my findings, I have a whole one just for copper. So this is why you're not twisting my arm on the copper. I have a whole thing that is filled with all the coppers. It has its own case. That's how much I love copper. So that's a whole thing. Copper galore. I definitely will always go to copper if at all possible. I know it sounds kind of cray-cray, but I prefer it. Because it has massive healing properties, you guys. So I'm gonna grab, I think, so I do them on the earrings, bottom and top, and then I do it at the ends of the bracelet. That's just gonna tie everything together. And then I need one for my dangle. Yeah? Okay, there's that. For our clasp, we are going to do let's do one of these. We're going to do a lobster with a closed ring. I need some ear wires. I'm just getting everything out before I start beating so I can actually pay attention to you guys. Come on, ear wires. Because we're not making ear wires today. Not right now. And then we have, do I still make the beginner boxes with matching findings? I do. Every once in a while. I have some made, I think. Maybe. I'd have to look in my drawer. Pretty sure I have some made. Okay. Ear wires. Oh, we need head pins. Into boxes with 10 slots, just filling up space if you need them. Oh, are you telling me I need to make the kits again? Hi, Lovey. We're going to do a couple of head pins and some eye pins. Where are my eye pins? We need those. Bam. Can't find my eye pins. Whoever loving missing eye pins. Confession time. I have a copper basket. Somebody stop me from myself. It's April 15th, babe. Scroll down in my shows and it says, I think it's Craft D-Stash Train competition or something to that effect. Something like that. Okay. Get out of there. All right, here we go, my friends. Let's do this thing. I'm an alchemist. I have a copper binder, I have a copper basket, and I have an overflow tote. Oh, God. I love copper. What can I say? Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Here's the thing. At almost any given moment, you can message me and say, hey, Tam, I need insert here. And I could probably find it for you. Just like Maple's daughter. Auntie Tam, I need a wig for this event. Okay, I got one. I got you, boo. And it's not the cheap one. It's like the $150 one. I knew she was here. I felt her. Poor girl. All right. Here we go. We're going to start with the bracelet. Making a bracelet yet again. Crimp tube. Wire guard. And horrible fingernails that are getting fixed tonight. Do I want to? Crap, where did I put them? Hold on one second, guys. I just had a thought. Since I'm doing the lobster, I'm actually going to use a closed ring on the other end just to keep it a little more secure. So before I roll this back through here, what I'm going to do, get up there, is I'm going to hook my closed ring in here. I don't often do this. Excuse me. But because I've already decided what I'm doing for my clasp, we're just going to do this thing. So one thing I didn't show you last time, I give this a little squeeze to kind of hold it together, okay? I'm going to slide my crimp tube up. I'm going to grab my crimping pliers. I'm going to lay that in that furthest trough that's going to make it into a U shape. And I just saw that this is twisted. So we're going to untwist that before we squeeze it down. So I have one wire on each side. I'm going to turn it at a 90-degree angle. And I'm going to give it a little squeeze. Now before I do anything else, I'm going to give it a good tug and make sure that that's well crimped. Okay? I want to make sure. It is. So I'm going to put my crimp cover on. So if you're finding that your crimp cover looks all wonky like this, try putting it on from a different direction because sometimes it lays nicer a different way. Just rotate it a little bit. You'll find the sweet spot. As long as you're using the correct sizes, they are made to fit in there. So if it looks wonky, it's probably because you got a cattywampus in there. If it goes out of shape, you can squeeze it back down. And again, just work those back and forth until you get a good close. And when you get it almost completely closed, if you put it in the circle of your crimp pliers and give it a little squeeze, it'll give it a good round close. Bam! Okay. So, I decided we're going to do another round ball. And we're going to do a bead cap that doesn't want to stay on. And then we're going to see what it looks like on this blue. Get in there. Get. Almost don't like it. But it's not going to catch anything, so I think we might be okay. How are we going to do this? I already don't like my design because, why not? Let's play. We're going to put a little bit more blue in it. We're going to do threes. Then we're going to grab this. Right? I do it all the time. I just go in and listen to. Every once in a while I hear my name and it's like, oh crap, I'm supposed to be paying attention. What's she selling now? Or Lynn starts texting me, Mom, Maple found you this. I'm like, shit. Okay. That happens too. I should have grabbed more coffee before I started this. No, she made it Redline. Jeez, Alice. Pay attention, love. I don't think I like this either. I got a tickle on my throat. I don't like this, you guys. I don't know what's wrong, but I don't like it. I think it's too choppy. A new event has been scheduled. Nice. Guys, if you want in on the Artisan Creative Train, it's filling up. I'm watching it fill up as we sit here. There's another one. So I'm thinking I probably should have just stuck with my original idea with this because I like how that flows. Adding the extra blue was a bad idea. We're going to see how this works. The sun has fireworks. What did I miss? Looking for black tourmaline, rainbow moonstone, moss agate, selenite. Do I have those for bracelets? I do. Let me screenshot that. I did a selenite bracelet for my rig train on Monday. What kind of bracelets are you looking for? That would be a question. So this is a selenite and sterling silver set that I did. Ba-da-da. Oh, you just want stones? Or you need them for... So this is the selenite one that I did in sterling. I can make you one. So This set is going to sell for $60. So if you're just worried about the stone itself, I can just make you a basic, thanks, love. I can just make you a basic stretch bracelet. This is, I don't remember when I made this a couple of days ago. This is the rainbow moonstone that I have. That's just what I have sitting beside me. You want a bracelet with all of those, like a single bracelet with all of those stones? I could just make you a single bracelet with all those stones. Okay. Send me a direct message. Tell me what size, and I can do that for you. Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. I have all the things. Hi there, French lady. How are you, babes? Yeah, I think we're rocking and rolling with this. I like this better. More blue. I have a that's what I should be doing instead of this, but I have a custom order for a wire wrapped I mean, oh no. You know me. Just rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Nancy, a lot of times they do, yes. It kind of blows my mind sometimes. But I mean, it's okay. How much length do we have going on here? We're at 5.5, so we can do probably one more set. I don't know. What's this going to put us at? No, I think we're pretty done. That put us at 6. Because we still have this to put on in our clasp. So that gives it good movement. Has some texture. She's so Pete. And this is why I always look at what I'm doing. Oh, Tam, make the ends match at least, ma'am. Please. Just for the sake of your own OCD issues. Here we have it. That's much better. This is why I always check myself before I close stuff off. I'm really wishing I wouldn't have done that bead cap, but that's a whole situation right now, so we're stuck with it. Okay, put on our crimp tube, our wire guard, up and over, back through, and we're going to go through some of these beads. We're going to hit down probably No, because I want to be able to adjust this one. This is going to be an in-person thing where I can adjust it however I want. I want at least 3 beads, maybe 4. It doesn't give me too much of a fit. On we go. Go, go, go. Could you go where you're supposed to go, pray please? Thank you. It's being cantankerous today. There we go. Out the other end. Again, get a hold of it. Hold your main wire. Pull it down. We don't want it too tight. We want it loose so we can adjust as needed. You do want to make sure that this wire is in there. Squeeze that down a little bit. Nancy, you do. I'm making emergency, this emergency in my head, inventory because we sold so much jewelry the last few in-persons. So I figure if I come on every Thursday and make at least 2 or 3 projects, it will help me build that inventory back up because it's very depleted. I pop my pliers again. Okay, I'm going to have to send these to Rob's workshop. When was the last time you made something, Nancy? Just a question. No judgment, just curious. It's shameful. That's okay. You know, I go through spells, and I was doing all these things in the art room. I hadn't made any jewelry for a long, long time. And we did the in-persons, and I realized that I didn't do any pre-planning for the in-person. And it was so busy both weekends, like February, yeah. And we sold so much, and I went into panic mode making stuff, and it wasn't enough. If I would have had more inventory, I would have sold a lot more. And so this is why we're doing this, because I want to make sure that I have enough inventory for my next show. That crimp is wonky. Hold on, guys, my eyeballs. Okay. Actually, January. Yeah. Made a bracelet and earring set for yourself. Yeah. I hadn't made anything since November. I mean, granted, if I did tutorials, I'd make something, but to actually sit down and intentionally make jewelry to sell, it had been before the holidays. So here we are. Seraphonite. I mean, we all have our bead hoe moments. We bounce from beads to beads. I'm currently in love with this selenite. Did you see that bracelet I made? I am so in love with that selenite that I got. Alice, at least you're still green. Well, at least you're still in the green realm. Okay. 2 pairs of pliers. I have some someplace around here. You like that? Someplace around here. Oh, by the way, always test before you put everything together. Because, sometimes the springs and the lobsters fail. And it would be very sad to get everything put together and find that your lobster does not work. You can't cheat on your moss. Yeah, no. Again, oh, I guess you can see what I'm doing. Make sure that that's closed. Make sure that it lays correctly. Do we need a dangle? I think we need a dangle. Yeah, we need a dangle. Why not? Let's dangle this baby up. Na na na. So we're going to dangle this by tying this together because I irritated myself by using those. I'm going to do a wrapped loop dangle because, it sounds like a game plan right now. I have a quail outside my window and it's singing to me. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Can you hear it? It sounds almost like a little wheezy thing. Craziness. You can't hear it? Okay. It's like really obnoxiously. Made Mexican rice in a rice cooker. How did that work out for you, Nancy? Just curious. Not bad? Okay. Well, I'm spoiled because Erin makes me Mexican rice from scratch, so on the stove. But I've never attempted it in the rice cooker. I've always wondered how it would come out. I guess you can do all other rices in there. It's not going to make that big of a difference, right? Alice is like, wait. I know we're both like, oh, opportunities opening up. Rice cooker. Throw things in it and turn it on. I will say I love my rice cooker. It's so good. You just watched a pressure cooker recipe? Like a real pressure cooker or the cheaters? That was kind of passive aggressive, wasn't it? Sorry, guys. I mean, in a sense, an Instant Pot is a pressure cooker, but your crock pot. I have my canning pressure cooker. I do have an Instant Pot, but I never use it. Rob does. Rob uses it quite frequently. Thank you, Nance. I saw that recipe pop up on my screen. I appreciate you. I'll try it. You gave away your pressure cooker instant. Yeah, I don't know. I have the things, but if I'm gonna cook, like, cause I mean, obviously I can and do all of that. So it only makes sense to use what you're comfortable with. Okay, there we go. Kissera and Blue Aventurine. Let's move on to the earrings. So this is kind of how we laid things out. I seriously just put that on the floor on what I was thinking. Head pins. Oops. I used one of my head pins. Where did I put those head pins? Look at that. How that is like right in there. Looks so cool. I look. Anyway. We do want these to match the set, so we're going to throw another one of these on. Then we're going to do the deep blue. Deep blue. I went on a bread baking kick during the panini, and my kids loved it. Crock pot bread, the best. Oh, you know what's really good? I have a recipe, and I used to do it all the time, and now you're making me want to go make bread. But anyway, you put it in your cast iron casserole. You line your cast iron with parchment paper, put your bread in it, put the lid on, let it raise, pop it in straight in the oven. Oh my gosh, it's the bestest. So good. So good. And Dutch oven. Thank you. Are they still called a Dutch oven if they're your cast iron pans? Questions of the day. Is Dutch oven really a type of pan? I have a Dutch oven that is cast iron, and it's cobalt blue, actually. Not that that really matters. And then I have my cast iron ones. And my Dutch oven is for making homemade chili. And my cast iron is for what? Oh. Rob's interjecting as he walks through the door. He doesn't even. I knew what she meant, but it will redline it. Rob's walking in the door, commenting. Silly man. I don't know. People are weird about saying it. People get triggered. Maybe it did. Panini? Anyway. Hi, love. Would you be so kind as to get me hot coffee? Okay. Because I forgot to get coffee before I started this disaster I got going here.
It's going to cost you, though.
Yeah, what's it costing me?
One kiss.
Okay.
Thank
you, love. You're the bestest.
you.
Alice says thank you. I don't know why I'm scared to ask.
I know what it is.
That's funny. That's really funny. Okay. Earrings. We're making earrings. So with the last pair, we put the doohickeys. Critter Chops, how are you? Critter Chops, that color you made today was beautiful. I cannot wait to play with it. So gorgeous. Hey, before y'all start on me, I asked him if he would join the raid train, and he said that it would. He was not down for doing the raid train. It was, I don't remember, Kaput something. How do you say it? Mortem Kaput. I'm probably not saying it right. Critter, type it. I just know I use it a lot, and I will be very happy to have one in your brand. Reddish. Kaput Mortem. Thank you. It's like a reddish brown. Alice, you know the last ATCs I made with like the reddish brown and the purples? It's that color. I love it. And I'm so glad you made it. So anyway, the last one, I think we're going to keep this, the ATCs. The time before. Not the ones that are sitting on my table. Oh, and you know what's stupid? I forgot to send Karen's ATCs in her package. Yeah, the one right next to you. Thank you, love. I appreciate you.
You're welcome, my baby.
And these people appreciate you too, because I was getting ready to end my show because I needed coffee.
I have that.
I mean, we could. Because coffee. You're welcome. It's just, because I was bragging on in the closing show on your watercolors. And they asked me why I didn't have you on the raid train. And I'm like, because it can take 6 hours and that we don't have all day for that. And so it just occurred to me, since you were making watercolor today, maybe you can break it down to 30 minutes. If you do an easy color that only takes, and then have some pre-made so they can literally buy that same color out of your bin while you're demoing it. Just thoughts. That's how my brain works. Because I think the more people, the world is a better place if they get to play with your watercolors. It's just my thoughts. Because I feel like if they play with quality, they're going to be more apt to continue creating. Just my thoughts. Okay. Off we go. There we go. There's no guarantee it'll be 30 minutes because you talk too much. You know what happens when people talk too much on the raid train? I tell them you've got 2 minutes to raid. And so you raid on time. And then you have a show scheduled the next day and show them what it ended up like. I think it would be very interesting for people to see like the first parts of it, how you mix it, the ingredients that you put in it, And once you get to the mulling point, if you can make it to the mulling point in 30 minutes and have some already pre-poured and made and ready to ship, they don't need to sit and watch you mull for 2 hours. That's my thought. I don't know. We can talk about it. For future reference, you are welcome if you decide you want to do it, and I have open spots. How's that? Because people don't understand what goes into it. They just see a pan or a tube. My thoughts. All right, here's another set, my friends. Bah, she's on a roll. What are we going to do next? What are we going to do? We've been on for 2 hours and 15 minutes, and we made 2 sets. Gracious me, oh my. I talk too much. I talk too much. Okay. So we'll put this in the completed basket. Guys, my basket's getting full. Ooh. I made this gorgeous malachite and Swarovski crystal bracelet set. Fair. The malachite, Sammy? So this is what's in my basket. These are the things I've been making. I made this the other day. I was watching, come on. I don't know, I was watching shows. So these are the earrings, and this is all made by me. And then the bracelet, I made it so it was adjustable for a tiny wrist or a larger wrist. So there's that. And it's vintage Swarovski with malachite. Thank you. Yeah, I enjoy doing the wire wrapped ones a lot. So I have that one. We just made this one. We made this one. I made the moonstone one the other day. Selenite for the raid train. The earrings. I don't know. I was doing a demo. Last week we made aventurine with copper. We made a lot last week. Here's just a stretch bracelet. This one was kind of cool. I like how I did this. It has a key dangle and then it has a key toggle. There's another aventurine. I made the Buddha and then a couple of pairs of the aventurine earrings. Repurpose some of this stuff. Yeah, I love that the key toggle, especially with the key dangle. Critter Chop, thank you. You know, we bought Clover and Rob actually sent you a message on Whatnot to ask you questions. I don't know if you ever got it, but You got him playing in the stock markets. I appreciate you, my friend. Okay, next. What colors are we going to do next, my friends? Oh, we're going to pick these up is what we're going to do next. So I grabbed this. Clovers are lucky. Clovers are very powerful herbal medicine too, by the way. Just throwing that out there. Red clover I grow because it balances hormones. And it also helps with painful menstrual cycles. Look at me, just a fountain of info, my friends. So yeah, I use red clover as a ground cover in my garden when between planting seasons. Fun fact. Okay, putting the things away so we can move on to a different color. So we did a gold set, we did a copper set. Let's do something in silver. I'm thinking amethyst. I could finish this bracelet. I don't know if I want to do this right now. This is a custom order that I'm doing from the show. I've got to get that to her soon. Any plants to calm a wife when you spend too much on whatnot? Chamomile's really good. I'm thinking, is she around the same age as you? So rosemary is really good because it is protective, it's calming, but it also helps with mental clarity. And in helping with mental clarity, it also tends to calm anxiety, which it's not really toted for that, but it works. If hello Molly, how are you, sweetheart? So, does she like rosemary bread? Oh, it's bedtime. Good night, Maria. I'm changing stuff for this time change thing we got going on. Have a blessed night, Maria. Thanks for stopping by. Ice cream. What's her favorite kind of ice cream? Working on stuff for show and upcoming raid trains. That's awesome, Molly. Don't you have a show tomorrow? Or is that tonight? I remember bookmarking it, but I don't remember when I bookmarked it. I seem to think it's tonight. Talente Gelato. Huh. Interesting. See, I'm a caramel girl. Nancy, thank you for clarifying. Gelato. I'm a caramel girl. Give me caramel. Caramel and chocolate, caramel and ice cream, caramel and anything, and I'm good. I'm so good with caramel. Or caramel, or however you want to say it. It's heavenly. My favorite is the Ben and Jerry's that has the caramel swirls in it, but it also has like the little mini cups that are filled with caramel. Oh, jeez, oh Pete, you're making me hungry. We're supposed to be making jewelry. It's smooth on smooth. Yeah, like I need this in my life. You spent enough time in the ice cream aisle when you had the boys. See, I never craved ice cream when I was pregnant. It's really weird. I know I I craved like food. I was hungry all the time. Chocolate with nuts. Baskin Robbins used to have chocolate almond and now they don't. It's hard to find chocolate nuts on so many levels. Oh Lord, I'm on YouTube, aren't I? Lord help me. I'm sorry. Please, I'm Rob, edit this out. Your wife just dived. You crave Mexican food, the spicier the better when you were pregnant. See, I did. With my first one, I craved fish. Like, it didn't matter. Fried fish, baked fish, seafood, I should say, because it wasn't just fish. Seafood. Um, shrimp cocktail, anything seafood. With my second one, it was like vegetables, but I lived in California at the time. So I was like in the center of, look at this bead. I was in the center of all of the good veggies and fruits because I was in Monterey Bay. So we could go to Salinas and get fresh stuff. We could go to Watsonville and get artichokes, um, the mushrooms, the strawberry field, all the things fresh. And then with my third one, it was enchiladas. Like, I needed enchiladas. So many levels. Mexican food. Oh, yeah. All right. Amethyst. I don't know how we got on that tangent. This amethyst is really pretty, you all. Um, restaurants and oh, they are so good. My office was actually in Seaside. We're just you know, in the ghetto. Um, but I would take my lunch. I would go down to the wharf, and I would get, the where they have the fresh made clam chowder and the big hunk of crusty bread. I would go grab that for lunch and just go sit on a rock and watch the ocean and contemplate my life choices. Yeah. I miss the ocean. That's one thing I miss about California is I miss the ocean. Yeah. But then I moved to Arizona and here we are. Here we are in Arizona at 6 o'clock at night and 85 degrees. Nance, is it hot at your house, babe? We're usually around the same temperature. I'm just curious. Yesterday I had my heater on because I was freezing my ass off, and today I have the air conditioner on because it's hot outside. That's where we're at in life. Like, why? Why? Life choices. Arizona. Amethyst. These amethysts are really pretty. Um, I need one that semi looks like this for the future earrings to match. Okay, there's our earring ones. So we need two more over here. Your son. You know what's funny is Oftentimes, when we crave weird stuff when we're pregnant, our kids hate those foods as adults. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, but it's a whole thing. The ocean stinks, but you can miss it. Very good smell, bad. It was more for me the waves crashing on the rocks, that repetitive soothing motion. Nebraska is the same. 74 on Monday, had windows open, had snow Tuesday night. Today cold and windy, going to get more snow. That's insane. Right? You guys are getting our bipolar weather. Arizona can't figure out what it wants to do. Mother Nature needs therapy. Well, when I went into town Tuesday and met Maple, I left my house. It was raining. I can get the ocean sound on my phone when I go to sleep at night. I'm good. But anyway, when I left to go meet Maple, it was raining and freezing cold here. I had a jacket, my thermal pants, the whole thing, because I'm old and freeze easy. I get to where I was meeting her, and I'm like stripping clothes off down to a tank top because it was hot down there. It was so weird. And it's like an hour away. Okay, we're doing this. We're doing this thing. We're doing the thing, my friends. Oh, that's funny. I'm like, what in the world is that? It's chipped off. Okay, we're doing these nails. I'm telling you. Just chipped another piece off. It's over it. We've got this. Do we want to? I think we want to do the bright silver. I do not like that wire. Is my beading wire? We're going to use that with these. So with this one, because it's a heavier amethyst, and I'm going to use the 19 strand, it is 0.018, and I'm using a number 2 crimp tube. We're 80 on Tuesday night. Tonight you have freeze warning. Greta. Oh my lord. No. It's craziness. Hi everybody, welcome in. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're making jewelry today. If you have any questions, let me know. If you are so inclined, I have things listed in the bin. I have things listed in auction. If you would like to see anything, I would be happy to grab it and show you. Tomorrow, I may or may not be doing the. I have a show scheduled tomorrow for the handmade market. I'm planning to possibly do that, or I may start. I don't know. I may just run some jewelry. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. For today, we're going to do this. And then we're going to go find some food and call it a night. Because it's 6 p.m. and I should be cooking dinner for my husband. I have two. What else in my bin? I don't even know what's in there. Lord. So because this amethyst is fancy, I think I want to use some of these fancy beads. I really like these a lot. I don't know if I have enough. Those are going to be, I think I can alternate these, I think is what I'll do. Yeah, okay, we're going to alternate. So we have shiny. Mm, I want something to give it some motion. We're going to use 5 millimeters in between these. These are 5 millimeter daisy spacers. Mm, one more. And this, my friends, is how I set out to do jewelry. Everything is about balance and how it looks when it's all put together. I am going to, however, here's another thing you can do. Maybe. I guess they're probably on the one underneath, the project underneath. Let's see if I can find one over here. So you can use these little, they're bead stoppers when you're stringing beads on to keep them from falling off the end. We're just going to try this and see. I know it can be boring watching somebody string beads, but I'll make it fairly quick and painless. Does anybody have plans for the weekend? Anything exciting? Rob and I are going to do live thrifting on Saturday. You're doing a live? Really? What time? When? Oh, an in person or a live? Good God. Oh, and whatnot. When and where? Well, I know where. What day? That's what I'm trying to ask. Just put the deets in the chat. Share. That's what I'm trying to say. Share your shows. Come crafty thrifting with Rob and I on Saturday. We usually stay on about 6 hours and it's loads of fun. Never dull moment with us. Rob keeps me on my toes because that's what a good husband does. Bam. What do we think of that? I would be so remembering. Okay, just go bookmark Nancy shows for this weekend. Yikers. We're only at 5.5 inches. So guess what we're going to do? I'm glad I did that. We're going to go like this. We are going to grab 3 more. So we need another one of those, which I put over here. News anchors cannot wear branded jewelry. I know in the Bay Area, so people that make jewelry for them make big dollars. Yeah, I used to sell a lot of jewelry when I lived in California. Like, there were times that I'd actually fed my kiddos. 10:45 a.m. Ma'am, I love you. But me on whatnot at 10 o'clock on a Saturday? Well, yeah, probably. Okay, I feel you. I'll bookmark it. Yeah, I made really good money selling jewelry when I lived in California. My ex-husband was military and was stationed at Fort Ord. So I spent a lot of time by myself because, military life and all. There we go. We hit 7 inches. That's good. Friday. Alice, are you doing a shutter movie? Oh, yeah, no. I used to sell a ton of jewelry. You could like literally just go down to the wharf and have a blanket and toss down your jewelry and people would walk by and buy it. It was crazy. Crazy, crazy. It was young and silly back then though. But we also had amazing access to beads and findings. They had gorgeous bead stores out there. So many bead stores out there. All right, so we are gonna do. I swear I had silver ones up here somewhere. I do. Handmade, I'm trying to get beads together for tomorrow too, but you're watching you relaxing. Now, thanks to the interwebs, we have access to them. Yeah, but from somebody that sells beads and findings on here, I will say there is nothing like touching them, feeling them, and deciding if they resonate and if it's something that you want to use in your creations. Like, I've bought a ton of really awesome beads on Whatnot. But when I'm just relaxed creating, I go to the ones that I've bought in person most of the time. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh yeah, crimp covers. It's just, I don't know. But I'm old and crotchety and set in my ways, and I prefer to buy in person. It's just me. Don't compare bead remorse to bad food. What? It's not bead remorse. It's more, if you're talking about what I just said, it's more a situation of I prefer, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Alice, for saving me from saying something really stupid. Love you, girl. My mouth sometimes gets away with me. And I say things and people take it the wrong way. And it's a whole thing. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for joining. We are hanging out in the bedroom. We're making some different projects today for inventory, for an in-person I have going on. If you're looking for anything, please feel free to pop it in chat. I know you would. Nancy, you'd be the first one to talk crap and get me in trouble. And I'm just sitting here creating away, chatting, doing my thing. And then, like, that night, I get like a message and somebody's like, "Why were you being so mean to me?" Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "What? What do you mean mean to you?" "Well, you said blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, I didn't even realize you were in my show. Really? Okay. Wasn't talking to you, but if you felt it that deeply that you felt you needed to message me, maybe you should check your own glass house walls, see what's happening now. My chat just froze. It's like, no, ma'am, you're done. Shut up. I'm hushing. I'm making an amethyst bracelet. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for joining. If I could get this crimp cover, that's why you typically stay in your box. I do. But no, I don't. That's not true. I want to be able to help people and teach people to create. Wait a second. You just know how you feel about certain beads. I get it too. However, check beads don't do that to me, only natural stone beads. Yeah. Are people nice in your box? They are super nice in mine. Yeah. I mean, I have, it's a toss up. I have some people that are super super sweet. And then there's some people that just I don't know. Like why? Why are you coming at me? What do you think you're going to accomplish by coming at me? Did I what? No. Greta, no. That was the first end. Now we're on the second end. Greta's keeping me in line. Damn, handle your stuff, woman. No, I just put a bead stopper on. I know I've been doing the other end first, so I understand why you would have thought that. But I decided because I didn't want to have to start over if I didn't like the pattern. Nancy. So Critter Nancy is she adopted me as her whatnot mama right along with Lynn. And she's in California as well. And she has two boys that are, she calls them ferals. I think they're frickin' adorable, but they call me grandma and I don't have to live with them. So their feral behavior is entertaining to me. I'm sure it wouldn't be quite as entertaining if I had to live with them. But anyhow, yeah. So that's Nancy backstory a little bit. Yeah, the boys are super adorable. How did I lose my other end? What is just happening here? I guess we're going to do this one. There we go. I got cattywampus on this. They're 3 and 6. But here's the but to this. Nancy's pretty mouthy, and children tend to be karma beings. Yes. So she has one boy that has her personality, and she has another that has her husband's personality. And it's awesome. Yeah. She sells check glass beads. She usually goes on at night or on the weekends because of her work schedule and the boys. Oh no. Oh no. That's funny. In a whole lot of ways. Hi, Renee. Yeah, I'm literally going to finish this bracelet and call it a day. So if anybody knows anybody that's on that I could raid, feel free to pop it in the chat because we got just Yep, it's time to go. I'm getting mad at this. No, I'm really not. It's just irritating because it won't go on. Here's the thing. I need to get my nails done, and I'm trying to not focus on my fingernails, but every time I look down I see how much of a disaster they are. And I know I've been whining a lot about it. I just need to do it. I mean, whatever works, Nance, right? Remember how I said sometimes you have to flip it around and find a different angle? I'm trying to find that angle. Oh. Is she the one that was posting in the Facebook group about how to sell it? Oh, for fudge sakes. Okay, we're getting a different crimp. That one is obviously deformed. It does not want to play nice with me. Let's see if this one does better. I mean, yeah. What is the actual problem here, my friends? It's like this crimp is acting a fool. Like I didn't get it tight enough or something because it's not fitting in here. And the other end fit just fine. Isn't that weird? You guys gotta watch me on the struggle bus. I know my hubs would agree. Oh. Okay, we're gonna do it this way. Sometimes you just gotta manhandle it to get it to do what you want it to do. It'd be tough trying to put them in your mouth. You haven't met Nancy. She's like down for anything. Like some days, I'm over it. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is take this off of this side. I know, right? I don't even understand why. I think it's just because I need to get it under the magnifying and see what I did wrong. I don't know. But I'm going to do it later. I guarantee you that because I'm over it. Probably should eat something. That would be extremely helpful right now. Food. I've hit that I'm kind of hangry point. So off we go to get food. Critter always has good stories. Should pop into one of his shows. I think he's going to be on Saturday. I don't know how long. But, yeah. Yeah, you are. I do that all the time, though. You know, there's so many people on here, and I pop into people's shows. It's like I was in Critter Show earlier today, and I'm just sitting there listening, watching, doing my thing, and it was like I said something, and everybody was like, "Hi, hi, hi, hi." And I'm like, dudes, I've been here for like 30 minutes. What the heck? And then I remember that I'm on private, so that's a thing. Yeah, he's really shitty about running stuff. Like some days I have the utmost patience with it, and other days I'm like, Critter, run my shit. I gotta go. I got things to do. But his stories are good. I will admit that. I'm over this. I'm so over this. No, Saturday morning. Holy wait. Nice. Anyway, sorry I got distracted. Yeah, he gives stuff away. No, Nancy, you and Nancy would get along really well. Obviously, you have, but yeah. So here's my question for you guys. Barbara's on. She's got 13 people. Awesome artist. Athena's on showing her handmade clothing. Any preferences? You do. You absolutely need to put your headset on. She always warns me when she calls me or FaceTimes me. She's like, "Mom, the boys are in the car." It's the first thing out of her mouth. Not, "Hi, how you doing?" "Mom, the boys are in the car." Okay. We're going to go see what Athena's up to. She makes awesome things. Outie belly button. Let's go support Athena. She's awesome. She always supports all of us. You guys are amazing for hanging out with me for like 3 hours. I'm gonna go find something to eat and then figure out why that crimp doesn't work. Much love to each and every one of you. Thank you so very much. Have a blessed rest of your evening, and I'll see you in the next show. Bye.